Name's Chris Rose, author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker. In this new video for spiritually helping other people, which is my new YouTube channel, I'm going to be sharing 10 spiritual lessons of life that I've learned from homelessness. So this video will be 10 spiritual life lessons of homelessness. So let's begin. Lesson one. Losing is inevitable. So in life, you're gonna lose things that are very precious to you. For me, when I lost my home and all my possessions on 30th September 2014, due to a fire happening within my property, I lost everything that I lived for. My music business, my music equipment, my home, my possessions, my clothes, my furniture was all gone. But once I realized after I've lost everything that losing is inevitable and you will go through loss in life, it's just part of life's journey. But the difference that I learned is how you respond to the losses that you go through. So it's important to realize when you do lose things that are precious to you, things that are very hurtful to you, um, try to process it in a positive way and try to look at, how is this going to grow me as a human being? How is this going to change me as a person? How is this going to benefit me? So that's lesson one. Lesson two, helping other people and giving back. So when I lost everything in my life, became homeless and was living on the streets of the West End of London in Marble Arch, I realized that, I don't want anyone to go through the suffering and pain and the adversity that I've been through, me experiencing homelessness. So what I learned was to help other people because I need to help other people in what they're going through and to make sure people don't go through a similar life experience that I went through. So the work of helping other people became important to me to do. And I learned that when I was at rock bottom and when my life was in a crisis. But it's important to learn this lesson because once I started to help other people, my life changed. And the two people that helped me to help other people, their names are Paul Dorrington and Karen Michigan. Paul Dorrington's a lead and employment specialist. Karen Michigan's a clinical psychologist. So when I was homeless in mental health hospitals for my mental health conditions of schizophrenia, psychosis, and depression, I received support in hospital to help me in my mental health recovery and in my journey. And that was the inspiration that I needed to help other people because going through what I went through transformed my life in every single way. And helping other people gave me meaning and value in life that, I know I've been at rock bottom. I know I've become homeless. I know I've lost everything, but I can help other people what they're going through, prevent people from going through the experiences that I went through. So helping other people became a very important spiritual life purpose for me, a spiritual calling. And that's what I've devoted my life to for the last 10 to 11 to 12 years in helping other people. So it's very important that you start the work of helping other people, giving back and making a difference in any way you can. And I know when you're going through homelessness, it's a very challenging thing to do that. But think of it once you come out of homelessness, you have so many life lessons that you've learned on your journey that can benefit people and what they're going through. And that's what I've learned. Sometimes you have to pay it forward and help people and what they're going through. So that was the second spiritual life lesson I learned. The third spiritual life lesson I learned is you come into the world with nothing, you leave the world with nothing. So in life's journey, you come into the world, just being born into the world, and we have nothing that we're born into, because obviously all we have is a family, but we've been created in the world, we're born in the world, and we come in the world with nothing. And then our life experiences show us who we are as a person, what we need to become, and who we need to be. But then when we leave the earth and leave the world, we go back to nothing. So it's important to realize it doesn't matter if you have a lot or have little, either way, you're going to leave this earth with nothing. It's a very spiritual thing, this is. And I want you to understand, who's ever listening or watching the video, that life is very precious and how you live your life is very important. And when you do go through hardships and challenges, just remember that God's got a plan for you, and God wants you to go through the experiences to help you learn things and understand life itself. So going through homelessness taught me that I'm going to leave the world with nothing and I come in the world with nothing. So how I live my life through my adversities, suffering and pain is very important for me. So I need to learn to manage my feelings, manage my emotions, and go through suffering, pain, and adversity in the most productive way and the most helpful way for myself. So just remember that life comes with its challenges. No one has an easy life. We're living through life day to day. And when we leave the earth, what will be remembered from us is what we gave to the world and who we became in the world and what legacy we left behind. So make sure whatever you're going through, if it's homelessness, mental health challenges, difficulties, that you manage your feelings and emotions and you do what you can to support yourself in those difficult times, because I understand how hard homelessness can be, understand how difficult it can be, but you can learn to overcome it and you can remember that, life is your legacy that you're leaving behind. So make sure you leave the right legacy. So that's my third spiritual life lesson. The fourth spiritual life lesson is you cannot stop God's plan for your life. So when I experienced the homelessness and the mental health crisis when I was younger, I was only 24 at the time. And I didn't expect to go through the homelessness and losing everything. But that was part of God's plan for my life. So I can't sort of stop the plan of what God has for me, because that's part of my life. I was meant to experience that. I was meant to go through that within my life, even though it was difficult and challenging and the suffering was painful. But who you become from that is what has helped me to be who I am today. And I think if I didn't go through the homelessness and mental health crisis when I was younger, I couldn't be the person that I am today, and I couldn't be the inspiration in the work I do and in just helping other people. So sometimes in life, you can't choose your path. Sometimes things happen to you and you go through things. That's all part of God's plan, and God's got a bigger plan for your life. So how you live your life, what you do in your life, and how you help other people always comes from your personal pain and always comes from your personal suffering and adversity. So learn to manage the difficult times, learn to manage the struggle times, learn to manage the suffering and overcome that. So the fifth spiritual life lesson is pain is temporary. Nothing lasts forever in life. Even life itself doesn't last forever. So we have to realize that pain is temporary. So whatever suffering, adversity, pain you're going through when being homeless, it will pass. You won't be living like that forever, because life is a continuing journey. You're always moving into the future. So whatever happens in your past happens in your past. Whatever actions you do in the present can move towards the future. You can't change the past things that happened to you. You can't change some of the struggles that you've been through, but you can learn to accept that pain is temporary, and whatever pain you're experiencing in the present, that it will pass and you will get through it. Spiritual life lesson 6 now. So suffering helps you to learn. I learned this as I was going through homelessness, that the suffering that I was experiencing when I was younger helped me to learn things about myself that I couldn't have learned if I didn't suffer. So do I sort of regret what happened, or do I have any resentment towards me losing everything? And the truth is I don't, because it made me who I am. I'm the person who I am today because I've lost everything. And suffering has taught me lessons that I wouldn't have learned unless I suffered. So You can't sometimes choose what happens to you in life, but you can choose how you respond. You can choose how you react. And when it comes to suffering, it's important to learn that, in life, it has its ups and downs. Not every day is going to be the same, but who you become as a person and what you do, how you help other people is the most important thing of all. So always learn that suffering is there to teach you and there to help you to grow as a human being. So spiritual life lesson 7, believe in Jesus Christ and God. So when I lost everything, I didn't have a faith at the time. I was just a young 24-year-old going through homelessness and mental health crisis. But I learned that there must be a future for me. There must be something that God wants me to do. And when I was going through the suffering, the pain, and adversity and challenges, I realized that I need to believe in Jesus Christ and God, that I need to find my faith. So that's when I started to go to church, started to pray, started to talk to people in Christianity as Christians, pastors, ministers, just people that were in faith. Then I started to grow within my faith because I know the importance of having a life of your dreams, then losing everything, then rebuilding your life and trying to change your life for the better. And that's when I realized I needed to find my relationship with Jesus Christ and God and just live a life that's honoring them. And my faith has grown since I've been on this journey for many years with Jesus Christ and God. And my faith is very important. So spiritual life lesson number 8 now. So um find your spiritual faith in life. Now, faith is a thing that you have to find in life and discover. Sometimes you can find faith when you're going through the most difficult times. For me, it was homelessness and mental health crisis. Or sometimes you can find faith just by going to church, going to a temple, going to a mosque, going to a synagogue, and just being with other people. But it's important to realize to find your spiritual faith in life and something that gives you meaning and value, because this is something important in life. And as human beings, we don't know what the future holds for our you know situations after death, but what happens after we have our physical life and we leave the earth, that's all part of faith. So believing in a faith, believing in something higher than your understanding and your knowledge and your wisdom is something very important, because faith is the things that are unseen. We can't see faith. It's something inside of you. It's a spiritual thing. So if you grow your faith, you grow yourself as a human being. So it's important to find your faith and find it in life. The ninth spiritual life lesson: living at rock bottom is a chance to turn your life around. Now, sometimes they say that the most important adversity you'll face is when you're at rock bottom, but that gives you the opportunity to move forward because you're already at rock bottom. So the only way you can go is up. So I've learned from my journey that when I was homeless and mentally psychotic, I was at rock bottom. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a home, a relationship. Everything was gone. But I realized that I can change my life. I can better my situation. And this adversity won't last. I will overcome the suffering. So I learned that whatever problems you're going through and challenges you're going through in life, especially when it comes to being at rock bottom, find the way to turn it around. And that could be helping other people in what they're going through. That could be finding a business or career or employment or jobs that really help you in your situation. That could be spending time with your family and your children and living a life that's very meaningful to you. So find something that will help you to turn your life around. For me, it was the fact that I was homeless and, I lost everything. That's what turned my life around. And my life is completely different today from what it was before. So, I've changed my life in every way. And then the 10th spiritual life lesson is that you can overcome homelessness by taking spiritual actions. And what I mean by taking spiritual actions is taking actions as towards the future. So, you know, when I was homeless, I didn't know who I was going to become. I didn't know what my life was going to be like. I didn't have no idea of how to better my situation. But getting the right support from Paul Dorrington and Karen Michigan, started to take the spiritual actions to change my life from where it was, helped me to overcome that situation. And the spiritual actions is what changed my life, because if I didn't take spiritual actions, I'll probably still be homeless today and with no home, no food, no drinks, or no money. But it's important that spiritual actions you take should be going towards your future. So whatever you want to do within your life, and I know homelessness is a very challenging thing to go through, but whatever you want to do in life, whatever you desire, take the small steps and the small actions daily to get a big result in the future. So that's what I've been doing in my life, and yeah, spiritual actions really make a difference. It's a really important thing. So these are the 10 spiritual life lessons that I've learned from homelessness. And being homeless is a very difficult thing, a very challenging thing. And I hope whoever's watching this video or listening to this message, that you're not alone if you're homeless. People have been homeless and overcome it, but you have to take the spiritual actions to get yourself out of that situation. And you might need to find the right support to help you to overcome it. So I hope these lessons have helped. These are the new videos on my YouTube channels. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care now. Have a good evening. Bye now. Thanks.